What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. Today, my guest is comedian Abhi Pamnani.
Woo! Hey guys, how's it going?
My man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, welcome, brother. I'm so happy to have you, actually.
Dude,
I wanted to get you on
here.
for a bit. Just had, things booked up until now.
No, it's been good. I did your show last month, which was amazing. Like, it was a great time. You sold the show out, and no, I'm so happy to be here, man. Thanks so much. This is great. You have a killer setup here, by the way.
I appreciate that, man. It's changing, because I'm moving at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to change. The new set is probably not going to be pink, just based on where we're moving to. But I do plan on maybe getting like a headboard, like some sort of
Yeah.
I saw these kind of things at I don't know if it was like Rona or Lowe's, one of those like home hardware stores, and it was like this big piece of Bristol board or something like that. But it had like a brick pattern on it. Yeah. So my idea for the next set is to kind of have that like as a headboard for the bed and maybe paint that pink.
Okay, you got like a little...
Because I want to keep a little bit of the
texture,
pink.
like an accent on the wall kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
cool.
It'll kind of look like a headboard
Yeah.
from the shot, but things are going to change. I do really like the pink, though. I want to try to keep that in the new
the
place.
neon with the pink looks pretty sick.
Yeah, right? And it stands out a little bit. I don't mind
100%.
that.
This pillow talk's cooler than Zion Mullix, I can tell you that much. For me personally. I don't know what anybody else says, but yeah.
So, dude, tell me about this little mini tour you're doing with G.
Yeah, no, man. It's so it happened very suddenly, and I've been in comedy, like I'm a comedy baby. I've only been doing this for 8 months now.
Yeah, but you're killing. You're doing well, brother.
I'm trying hard. I'm trying, and I'd like to kill, of course, but with G, it was he basically was like, hey, I'm going. He called me to London first, which is where he's from. Mm-hmm. And I did a show with him there, and then he said, hey, I'm going for this tour. Do you want to do the first show? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I noticed he's doing 2 more. I'm like, you know what? I can do all of them. So I kind of just, invited myself in there.
That's what's up, though. It worked out, Sometimes you need to make those aggressive moves.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No,
Nothing wrong with that.
But G's great. We did Elmira last night, sold it out. And man, that guy crushed it towards the end. Like, it was applause all around. So it was a great time, and I'm just so thankful we're doing that.
Yeah, he's a really funny dude. Yeah. I met him. I was doing my very first show. Yeah. I did the monthly show. I did it twice at Mandy's. Okay. And the first one there, he was staying from the show before mine. Yeah. He was just sitting there. I was like, yeah, you can stay. And he's like, yeah, all right, I'll stay. And he just kind of stuck around. That was my first time meeting. So I've only known him for 2 months. And then I had him on Lafiteria. Yeah. Didn't know really how long he had been doing comedy. Didn't know a lot about him. He was just like, hey, dude, could I get a spot? And I was like, the show was booked, but I was like, yo, you can come. I usually have one guest spot that I don't advertise. And so I just put him in there, and he fucking crushed it too, dude. I was like, yo, this guy, I had no idea, I just thought he was just...
No, but dude,
really
he speaks highly of you. He was talking to me last night.
And he's a great guy. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. So what about what's new with you? Are you doing more shows now? Are you producing more? What's going on with your stuff?
I still got the 2. I want to get a 3rd show going in the new year. Yeah. With the idea of having me and someone else be I want to do a judging kind of thing. I'm still trying to figure out because there's so many of these kind of battle shows. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, roast battles are
which I'm going to be doing in January for the first time, which is going to be... nice. And then they have just the roast battles and everything that Sebastian does. He's
he's that
the
Marvel
battle
DC
guy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I'm trying to create some sort of semi-original idea where I have me being the host for every show, a guest comedian as a host every show, and then as a tiebreaker judge have an audience member. Okay. Okay. So it would kind of I like that idea of getting the audience involved because I think it might be if we go to that show we might actually be involved in the show.
Yeah, and they don't have to be they don't have to be a
comedian or anything. They could just be cool. If you brought your sister and it could just be anybody. I don't know exactly how I would decide, but it
sounds like a cool idea. There's something to it for sure. You know what? What's funny? The first time I saw you was at Brandon Zakai's Bar Cathedral show.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was the first time, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
And, dude, there's this bit you do about, like, you go super personal on this couple bit about, like, have you ever seen your couple, like, have you guys seen each other's shit? And
yeah.
You crush that bit. It is
I really like that place, too.
It is a really, No, that night was amazing. You crushed that night, and that bit in particular is like my favorite one that you do.
Thanks, man.
Because one's at least I haven't seen anybody take that. You know, people skirt around the idea of like farting into 2 years into a relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
But you were just like straight into. Have you seen your guy's shit?
Yeah. I had a couple other parts that I was like tagging on the end of that for a bit, and I changed where I would like ask them different questions. And I had, like, have you ever kissed each other with cum on your lips? And then I went from that to, there was another one where I was talking about, like, there was something me and my lady were talking about, just about, because I don't know her period schedule. And so I was asking people that, and then I ran into a lady who was like, I don't have my period anymore. And I felt like a piece of shit, bro.
Like, I don't know
I was like, I guess I'm not going to do that one anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, but thank you for thinking I'm that young. So I feel like...
Yeah.
It was a little okay, but I just didn't want to.
I think it would be just weird if, like, I don't know my girlfriend's period schedule. I think it would be weird if you were, you know, like find my location kind of thing. She shares her period schedule with you. That was just weird. Although probably useful.
I feel like about half the people up until that point, like half the guys knew. So it's about 50-50, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Other than that, got a baby coming. It's terrifying.
Congratulations.
Found out it's going to be a girl. Thank you, brother.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's really scary. It like, dude, I'm not even one of those guys that's super, like, I'm not an anti-feminist. Like, I believe in feminism. I just don't believe in, like, the extremist feminists that are, like, just, like, the man-hating feminists.
The feminazi
you know what I mean?
stuff.
Like, I definitely want equality, and I get it. Fight for it. Like,
100%. Oh, yeah. Like, what are your concerns with, like, being, dad to, like, a girl child? What are you...
well, this is what I was, like, I feel like even if you are an extreme, like, anti-feminist person, nothing will change that quicker than having a daughter.
Yeah.
Like, nothing. Like, my daughter's not even born yet. I'm already watching porn differently, bro. You know what I mean? Like, already. Like...
What is it? Is it just stepsisters now?
I feel like nothing makes an open... like, everyone is open-minded until their daughter wants to be a porn star, you know? And, like, that's just how I'm like, oh my god, this could be my daughter down the road.
Have you ever, like thought disgusting. About... You think about, like, prepping for that conversation ever, like, 20 years down the road, be like... Dad, I just want to go be a porn star.
And with, like, OnlyFans and all this shit, it's like... It's a little scary, man.
But, like, you know what? It's so weird. Like, I know a couple comedians who are on OnlyFans and stuff.
Me too. But, like, I know a lot of people, actually.
Fucking Toronto is so expensive.
I'm not hating... Oh, man.
Like,
how do you live in Toronto and not have an OnlyFans?
Yeah, like... You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, I would sell feet pics of myself if I could.
Buddy, if people bought that shit, 100%. Without question, I would be doing that. But no one wants my feet.
Exactly.
You know? In no way am I hating on anyone's hustle ever, you know? But, like, there's different fears you have with a girl and with a boy, I think. And, like, those are the fears I have. Just dicks. You know, nothing but dicks. That's all I fear of for my... Like, I just hope she's a lesbian. You know what I mean? That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Exactly. I tell that to Tiana all the time. I'm like, look, I just want her to be, like, strong and, like, able to take care of herself. Like, if we ever have a girl, but please be a lesbian. Like, I don't want to deal with, like, douchebags. I want her to have good
grades. Like, her to be ambitious, you know?
Yeah.
I want her to know how to cook and learn self-defense and be a lesbian. These aren't unreasonable things. No. I'm also like fucking 5'7". So any guy she probably brings home, if I have a daughter, is gonna be like bigger than me. Like, how the fuck will I intimidate that guy? You know what I mean? So I'm just like, just be a lesbian. Just make it easy on everybody. Remember that CK bit from back in the day? He used to before he became infamous. He was on stage and he'd be like, if you have like a teenage daughter, it's just like a blizzard of dicks, and you just. Yeah. Slap cocks on his head, kind of, but yeah. And I understand. Something he also said that really sticks out in my mind, and I always think about it like when I talk to like parents.
Yeah.
And shit is that like he said the difference between boys and girls is that boys fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And girls are fucked up.
Oh,
like in the head. That's what he said.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, like he broke it down to like
the fundamentals.
Like that's perfectly worded.
Yeah.
No fat. It's like the most beautiful sentence. It's like it's pretty true. Like when I think about it, and what I hear. So, I'm ready. Ready for the mind games, but
dude, best of luck, man. And have you guys who's picking out the names? Have you guys had that chat?
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
When we found out, because it was planned. It wasn't an accident.
Right.
And I only came in her once. Don't like to brag. Pretty efficient sperm. Been smoking weed for a long time.
It's I don't know. It was like the 407 in there, just like a freeway. You just went straight in.
But yeah, so the deal was I would choose the first name for the boy, and she would choose the first name for the girl.
Yeah.
I would do the middle name for the girl. She did the middle name for the boy. Right. So we had them both already before we found out, like, the gender.
Okay. And this is the first baby?
This is the first.
Amazing. Yeah. It's weird. I always wanted, like, an older sister. Like, growing up, I was like, I wish I had, like, a older sibling, but, like, an older sister would be cool. Because I had this, like, one freaking bully in school, kind of. And he was like a simp, but his sister was older, was like kind of cool, just looked out for him all the time. So that was my ideal like scenario. It's like I fucking wish like somebody was there, so I didn't have to like deal with this shit.
Yeah. Only child, eh?
No, got a younger brother.
Oh, so, you have a younger brother. Yeah, okay.
6 years younger than me, and funny story, got in trouble for like being that elder sibling. This kid comes to me one day and he's like, this fucking kid's bullying me in school, and he must be like in grade 2 or something. I was like grade 7 at the time, I don't know. And I go to the playground and I find this kid, and the kid's a dick, like a total fucking dick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try and talk to him, but he because I grew up in the Middle East, and a lot of Arab kids are great, but a lot of them are also like daddy's money, kind of like just right from the start.
Gotcha.
And they were like, "Who the fuck are you?" kind of. So I slapped the shit out of the kid. Next thing I know, by lunchtime, I'm sitting in like the deputy principal's office.
Yeah, okay.
She calls my dad over, and then I almost had to pretend. I didn't even know what the word guilty meant then, but I was just told like, say I feel guilty, and just pretend, and that's what I did.
All right.
And then got out of it, but yeah, I've gotten in trouble.
What was did you have punishment for that? Were you like suspended or anything like that?
No, I think for like a few hours there was like some drama going on. Yeah, something like that, but like I don't think there were like long-term consequences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And also because that kid's dad was like my dad's friend and whatever, and he had older siblings who were my friends, so it kind of like it sorted itself out. Yeah, but I mean,
hey,
I don't know what to make out of it when I think about that. It was weird. Yeah.
So you weren't born in Canada?
No. So I was born in India, and I think my parents moved to Doha, Qatar, which is like in the news now.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew about that place forever.
Yeah.
And they moved there when I was like maybe somewhere between 2 and 4. I can't really remember. But they moved there, and then my brother was born in Doha as well. So we lived in this like little town away from the city for a company that my dad worked for. It was like a gated community kind of just for the employees of that company.
Gotcha, yeah.
And no, it was a good time. It just that's where I kind of learned to play tennis, and everything was like fucking free. So like, think about this: you can get a 3-course meal there for like $2. In that like gated community, because like it's all subsidized and shit.
Yeah.
So it was a good time growing up there. It was fun.
I think Amazon's trying to do something like that.
I
heard create their own like community for their workers. I don't know exactly where they would do it out of, or if they do it multiple places, but yeah.
But I wonder how they'd like do it. Like, do the employees get like good fucking places, and then the delivery guys are like staying in sea cans like the World Cup? Like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't want to live there. That's for damn sure.
What do you think?
Even if I worked for them.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't be living.
You'd just be like secluded from society.
Yeah, you lose your job, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you have to leave your place too." Just by the way.
Yeah. Do you think Bezos is like cool, or do you think he's like secretly fucking evil?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, man, I don't necessarily think... Like, I think a lot of people that don't have the money...
Yeah.
Are like, oh, this guy's so rich. Why doesn't he help all these? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't necessarily think someone with billions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, a billionaire is necessarily evil because they're not thinking about that. Like, I would want to go to space and shit too. If I had the means, I would for sure do it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I also think like, I don't think he's evil, but I understand the people that do think he's evil. Yeah.
Well, guy looks like Lex fucking Luthor, so
like pull your fucking. He really does, right? Though, right? Like Lex he Luthor. Really like hipster Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like I don't know. You like I think on some level people that have that much money have some sort of responsibility to do something. Like bro, it's an insane amount of money that you really don't need. Like, no one needs that amount of money if they live to be fucking 150. They wouldn't need that amount of money.
Yeah.
So...
Because, like, until 4 years ago, we were all, like, fans of Elon or Tesla, and now we're like, he's just a psychopath with Twitter.
Man, I'm so ignorant to all the Twitter... Are you on Twitter?
I started all my social media just because of comedy.
Like, Me too. I started Instagram because of that.
I was existing in those areas. I didn't have Twitter or TikTok.
Okay.
I started after comedy.
Yeah.
And then like I just went inactive on it. For me, it's hard, man. Like I go hard on Instagram as much as I can. Mm-hmm. But like I can't keep up. At least not yet. Like with 4 fucking platforms and posting.
There's so many. Yeah.
It's yeah.
I find that people are more responsive and supportive on Instagram. Yeah. I only have Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm just with the two. I'm like losing interest.
Yeah.
In Facebook, and I don't know. My very first photo is my first set ever, and I started Instagram because I felt like it was important to have a presence there.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they're changing what their platform is, and they're eventually going to go towards more like a TikTok style, which I'm not really a fan of, to be honest.
No. And everyone's doing that. Like, YouTube wants shorts, and it's part of the game now. Like, it's a thing.
And I can appreciate anybody who's really good at it. Hillary Henderson's amazing with it.
Greg Palome's doing it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, some people really know how to do it. Not my thing. I'm not, whatever your path is, all the power to you,
No, for sure. And I guess you just have to, like, figure it out for... Everybody's way is, like, kind of different. But yeah, that's the only reason I'm there, man.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with him and Twitter. He bought it. I know that.
Yeah.
And
there was a thing about like him saying that if you want to have that verified check mark, you pay like $8 a month, like a subscrition.
Okay, is that new though? I didn't know if that was new or not. I heard something about that, but
I mean, I guess fairly new. I don't know what's the latest either. But yeah, I think Trevor Noah spoke about it on his show, and he was like, "Well, it kind of defeats the purpose of being verified because now everybody can be verified, really."
Yeah.
Like, I make an account for a tree and say I'm a verified tree. Yeah. But yeah,
it's not a tree. That's a fucking boulder.
Exactly.
It's a rock, man.
But yeah, it's weird. It is weird. So you've been doing this for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, just over 4 years, but 2 of them were pandemic.
Yeah, did you do Zoom shows?
I did not, bro. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see the appeal of them. Again, I know a lot of people who crushed at them, and fucking all the power to them,
I don't get it, man.
For me, I was just like, I need an audience, man. I think, like, stand-up is, like, one of the rare art forms or rare things in the world where it's like, you can't really practice without people. Like, I could go over my jokes. I could kind of, if I'm at work, like, toss a line out here, see if someone laughs about it. But, like, I can't really practice unless there's people to react to what you're saying.
Yeah, fair enough.
So... No, I didn't do any Zoom. Did you do any Zoom shows?
No, I just started after the pandemic. So the thing was, I tried stand-up for like 3 open mics sometime in 2018, 2019 or something. I can't remember, like towards the end of 2018, I think. And back then, I don't think the Toronto scene was like as big. Because I was like looking for friggin' bars, and there was a vape bar that had like an open mic, and there was the Ossington, and I did 3 mics. And I bombed, and I was like, fuck this is probably not for me. Like, I enjoyed stand-up all the time, but then it just seemed like, those first, like, nerves, if you can't get over it, then you kind of stop.
Yeah.
And then I started again in, like, 2022. Yeah, I think April. Yeah, April. I saw like a Russell Howard show at Queen Elizabeth. And I love Russell Howard, man. That guy is incredible. And for some reason, he's not too well known here. Which I don't get. Like, the guy's got multiple Netflix specials. He does like a show that kind of is like Hassan Minaj's news show. So he has one in the UK.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and dude, you gotta watch him. It's amazing. Really good comic.
So that was what got you back into it. What initially was appealing about like stand up? Were you into it? Like, how old are you, man?
28 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long how long had you been into stand up before you decided to pursue it?
I think ever since like I was in undergrad. I used to be this kid who would just like, because my life was very like go to school, play a lot of tennis, come back home, and that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't even like a popular kid in school. So I was just like on my own watching movies and all that stuff. And I think eventually that sort of made its way into stand-up, watching stand-up. And then, but I think the peak of it must have been somewhere between when I was like 21 and 23. Like that's when I started really getting into... And I could always tell joke structure, but I didn't know what it's called. Like, I never knew what a callback is called.
Yeah.
But I could tell. I'm like, I see what you did there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Don't know the terms.
Yeah, don't know the terminology.
But that's like secondary stuff. Figuring out the terms, man. Yeah. As long as you know in your mind what it is.
And I didn't know, like, oh, that's cool. I know what you did. I just don't know how you did it. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of it. Like, I was watching a lot of Seinfeld stand-up at the time. Yeah. I think he... he had that 2000 movie, which was a comedian. I think it's on Netflix.
Oh my god, so good.
Yeah, so good. What's the name of the other guy? I freaking forget.
There's a second guy who has.
I believe I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
but that's a great. When I was going to Second City, that was something that was like recommended to me.
You went to Second City, eh?
Yeah, I went to Second City for like 2 levels.
Dude, they just moved into my building.
Yo, their new place looks... I haven't been there, but I've seen all, like, the setup and stuff. It looks great, man.
Yeah, it's funny that they're just downstairs and I haven't been there either so far. But it's pretty swanky. Like, they got this big billboard on the outside. It's pretty cool.
And they finally left Comedy Bar Danforth, so...
Yeah. I was in Danforth last month, again, for Brandon's show.
Yeah.
And, man, that place is... It's a nice spot. It's fancy.
It's a nice spot. It's out of the way, bro. Yes, the room is so big.
Yeah.
Like, the room is so big that you could get it, like, a third full. You could get 50 people in there.
For sure.
And it still feels like it's, like, empty. Like, for some reason. Like, it's just... If you had 50 people in a 50-seater room, it would just feel like you really need to... Like, I had my last show there. Yeah. The monthly show. Yeah. Last one there. And, it was a lot of fun, and I love the venue, but I'm definitely, for the next one, I'm definitely going to have to
like get a
grind it out and get a little more people to fucking fill up the place, but it's a beautiful venue. It has potential.
Do you think low-key you can tell that it was designed for improv, like almost like a theater? Because it's so like...
Well, and the amount of doors that they have on the stage, the one in the back, it seems like it was definitely more for something like that. Yeah. Because that's where Second City was.
Yes.
Before, they moved to... Where is the location at?
Now they're in 1 York. They're in 1 York, I think, on the 3rd floor. Yeah.
But yeah, I did 2 levels.
Like improv or stand-up?
Just stand-up. But I really... And I've been saying this probably since I started the podcast... But I really want to start doing improv there. Yeah. Bro, for real.
Yeah. No, somebody did recommend to me, like for me right now, I kind of want to get better at act-outs and stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was, I spoke to a couple people and they were like, you should maybe try doing a little bit of improv. Mm-hmm. It might help your stand-up. So I really have no excuse now if...
Do you know Leo Mates?
Yeah, dude, he won the Lafiteria that I was on.
Oh, you were at, yes, okay, so...
Leo is such a great guy.
He's such an awesome guy. Yeah. And he's just killing it, bro. Like, he did the monthly show as well. Yeah. And, like, he did really well. Like, he's only done 3 sets, bro. Yeah. In his whole, like, thing, and he's, like...
Natural storyteller.
It's great.
Very, very
But he's also really into improv. So he has, like, the stage experience, and he was saying, like... Bad Dog. Oh, I don't know if you're interested in doing improv or anything, but he was telling me that Bad Dog might be better for improv. And then he was like, or you could just come to me and pay me. Hey, I don't know. I don't really know the route to go, but I just want to kind of... I think I'm just going to dive in next year at some point and just fucking Right, because I want to get better at the crowd work and stuff like that.
Yeah, Leo Mates also, for your listeners, is a very attractive man.
And you kind of want to hate him a little bit.
Yeah, has a British accent, tall. Yeah. I said this on stage that night. I was like, he's like Prince of Persia mated with Jon Snow. Like, if you think about it, that's what he is.
I see it. Yeah. He's that guy.
No, he's a really nice guy to be around, yeah.
Fuck you, Leo.
Yeah.
You sexy motherfucker.
Yeah, screw you, man.
Someone has to work so hard, bro. I bet you this guy's never worked for pussy in his life.
No, probably not.
Or dick, whatever he's into. I'm not too sure, but he's never had to work to get laid in his life.
No. Dude, I've never... I mean, I buy friends, like, a round of beer or something, but it was this guy's birthday, and he just has this charming presence, and I'm like, fuck, I'd be a dick if I don't buy you a shot right now. It guilt trips me on the inside. Like, you're such a nice guy. How are you so nice? Like, but yeah, no, Leo's a good guy for sure.
You big into Christmas, bro? Are you a Christmas guy?
I mean,
I celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, like especially now, like, okay, so it's weird because my girlfriend, she's actually Orthodox, right? Okay. So she's big on celebrating Christmas on like January 7th.
Gotcha.
But we'll also do this, and then so some funny little side turn. The first time I came here was through a York University professor. And we've, over the years, gotten pretty close. Like, we're almost like family friends. Mm-hmm. So, we celebrate Christmas usually at their place.
Nice.
And it's great. They got 2 dogs, like I think before the pandemic or something. I can't remember which year it was. But there's a picture of me, Tiana. We're all in our, like, I got a Rudolph hat on. The dog's got a Santa cap on. So it's I'll celebrate it definitely in the sense that, we'll go somewhere, have dinner with friends and family, and that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. Go to the Christmas market, but nothing in specific. Like, I don't know and this applies to like every religion. I don't know the religious significance of any festival from any religion, really. You know what I mean?
That's a lot. I feel like I'm the same, man.
Like, I don't get it.
It's a lot of them for me too.
Like, growing up in Qatar, you'd be like, do you celebrate Eid? And I think the answer would be yes. Like, I'll go to friends' places, we'll have like dinner with them and do their traditional thing. But whatever the history of it is, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And as long as there's lights and a good time, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm always like, okay, so I don't know if you saw it, but like on the front lawn, there is a sign that's like, put the Christ back in Christmas. And like, I have people, like, my boy picked me up from work one day. He's like, is that you? Christ in Christmas?
That's funny. That is funny.
Like, no, man, that's not me. But, like, I'm always, like, okay, so for the last 2 years, I've done a toy drive.
Yeah.
And I've had some people be like, oh, why aren't you doing, like, a food drive?
Yeah.
And I was like, because fucking kids want toys, yo. Like, obviously they want to eat. And they're going to eat. Yeah. I assure you they're going to eat. Lots of people are doing that.
Yeah.
But, like, when I was a kid, and even still, like, because I'm not religious, I'm like, it's mostly just about
presents,
hanging with your people, opening some presents, and that, like, it's fun. And to me, like, I just...
No, I think you're on point.
I gotta get the kids some stuff. Like,
no, I give
it's not for you, adult. I'm not raising, money or getting all these toys together or food together for adults. Like, I'm trying to specifically go for the kids, because I think Christmas is mostly for kids.
Yeah,
mostly,
for sure.
Once you start, like, I don't know, man. Like, my girlfriend didn't really do Christmas a lot.
Yeah.
And since we've been living together, she's really changed her tune. The first Christmas is vastly different from this Christmas. Like, she didn't even wait for me to put, like, we don't have a big tree. I don't know if you saw it, our little mini tree.
Yeah.
But she didn't even wait for me to put that shit up, bro.
Yeah.
She did that. She put, like, lights up in our living room, and, like, she's always listening to Christmas music. And I was like, okay, you really love Christmas now, don't you?
She's
like, oh, it's for you, babe. And I was like, fuck out of here. No, it's for me. Like, I wasn't even here when you did this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, like,
That's
you bought these lights. You did, what I mean? Like,
you care about the decorations more than I do.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no.
So, that makes sense, man. Like, my love for Christmas, like, I was raised in foster homes and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, so Christmas was really weird for me growing up. And I didn't really start really liking it. Like, obviously I did.
Yeah.
Because I got some presents, but, like, it wasn't like it was for a lot of people to me. Like, sometimes I would, like, go to, like, you know, a friend's house, and my good friend Jeff, he'd be like, oh, my grandma said you can come over for dinner, and so it'd be like, nice, I get to go over there, but then it's like, I'm seeing this family interact and have all these things, and I'm just there. I'm like, the outsider, and so it was like, it was different for me, and I started loving it when I was in my last relationship, because my ex had a daughter.
Yeah. And
so that got it exciting, and then,
because of the kid factor, because it seems like you're more... Like, the celebration matters more to you if there's kids around and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's nice. But, wait, so and this might be a weird question, how was it, like, growing in foster homes? Because I feel like, you know what's weird about the West and, like, I guess, Middle East, India, there's really not a concept of, like, when you think about it, like, public services, it's not like it's not robust, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it is here, and... Like, I know nothing about that. So how's like, your growing up, like, how did you feel about that?
Man, okay,
I mean, obviously you turned out pretty fucking talented, so don't give me...
You know, like, I don't know exactly how I turned out the way I did, man, you know? But, like, I was in foster homes from, like, 6 years old. Like, my mom had me when she was, like, 16.
Yeah.
And the guy she was dating at the time...
Yeah.
Like, used to, like, hit me. And stuff like that.
Oh,
and so I was like taken away from her very young. And then like there's this battle when you're put in children's aid, like who's your legal guardian, and it could either be like the government could literally become your guardian. Right. But my nana was also trying to get me to be, you know, under her custody, and so there was this whole thing, and I moved around a shitload, dude. Like a lot. Like I'd be at some houses for like a month and then I'd move. And then like so I didn't really have like I didn't grow up with any attachment to like anybody other than like my nana.
Right.
You know? So it was a little rough, but then so a bunch of shit happened.
Yeah.
And I moved to BC with my nana because basically my family's divided into like two parts. Good family and just real shit.
Just terrible
like,
fucking...
drug addict, fucking criminal side of my family, you know? So all my good family moved to BC and I moved as well. And then I was living with my nana, but she was getting old and she was like, here, go live with your cousin Greg. He's getting married soon and he wants to start a family and he has this big place. And it was like, cool. But then, you know, 2 years down the road, Greg started fucking abusing me as well. Like legit, some horrible shit.
Okay.
And at that point, like this one thing happened where, so his wife, she had a daughter from a previous relationship. She was a little older than me.
Right.
And I'm like 99% sure that she was the one that did it. So he was away on like a business trip. I'm trailing off, but I promise you, I'll bring it back.
He's a comic. There's a whole story arc here.
So he went away for like a business trip for like 2 weeks, came back. The VCR was broken, bro. This is when VCRs were a thing. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
And, I remember, and I honest to God, swear on my nana's ashes, bro, I do not fucking know how this thing got broken, but I imagine it was like Julia, who's his wife's daughter.
Yeah.
And so he came home, found out it was broken, fucking brought me out to the field. This is like an old farmhouse, 135 acres. Right. And just literally started like kicking me around, like in the stomach, like around this field. I like call my nana up all, and I'm like, what, in grade 5? I don't know how old you are in grade 5.
Yeah.
And so like I go back with her, and at this point I'm like old enough where I'm like, I want to go live with my mom. And my nana's like, this is a bad idea, but if you really want to, like my nana fucking loved me to death. You know?
Yeah.
She was more of my mom, and so I went to live with my mom. Big mistake, but at the same time, like I'm here right now. Everything led me to here, so I try not to like regret.
I hear you. Yeah, no, for sure.
And so I lived with my mom for a bit.
Yeah.
And she was broke. I started working at 13 years old, bro, because I was living with my mom, and she was just broke.
Right.
She could barely like feed us. She was doing drugs. Her boyfriend was a fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. And one evening, he hit her. Yeah. And I grabbed like a baseball bat, bro, and I go out into the front. Like where his car's parked. We lived above a bar.
Yeah.
Coxwell and O'Connor.
Right. Okay.
And so I went down, I went in front of this bar, I smashed his windshield with a baseball bat.
Okay.
And I'm like yelling, like, come hit me, motherfucker, you know, like this kind of shit. Yeah. And she comes out.
Okay.
And she starts giving me shit. After I just watched him smack her up. And I did this.
I get it. Yeah,
and she's like, what are you doing? Why would you do this? He's more of a man than you'll ever be.
Yeah.
Done. I was like, yo, I'm out. Like, I left everything. Bro, I left my Nintendo 64. Okay? I packed a backpack.
Yeah.
And I fucking just dipped that night, bro.
Yeah. No.
And, like, I was working at the time, like I said.
Yeah.
And, so all this shit happened.
Yeah.
And eventually, my mom knew where I worked. Eventually, being homeless and sleeping wherever.
Yeah.
My mom, like, brought cops to, like, where I was being dropped off at after work.
Right.
And I got arrested for the car thing.
Yeah.
And then I was in jail. I ended up, this is juvie though. Like, I was like, I don't know, like 13?
Yeah.
Something like 14 at the time.
Yeah.
And, at, like, the first court appearance.
Yeah.
The judge was just kind of like, they were, talking, and he was kind of like explaining to me my situation. It was like, knew my history with foster homes.
Yeah.
And asked me, like, if you want to go back and live with your mom, we can release you today. Mm-hmm. Or if you don't want to live with her, you can stay in our custody and we'll find you another foster home. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll stay here. I'm good. And so, like, left my 64, stayed in jail just to not live with my mom.
Yeah.
Moved to Brampton.
Okay.
This is when, like, my foster home thing, like, was actually good, I think. From that age, I moved to Brampton in 99. And went through a couple foster parents at the same place. Didn't have to move.
Yeah.
And then one guy, Winston, he's like Jamaican dude. Who I always, when I talk about my foster dad, this is the guy I'm talking about.
Okay.
And so from, like, I don't know, 2000 until... I don't know, man. A few years, he was my foster dad.
Yeah.
And that was really beneficial. That helped me a lot. He helped me grow as a person. He helped me get over alcohol addiction.
Okay.
So, I would say early on,
yeah,
bad. To answer your question, half hour later, early on, bad.
Please.
But later on, good. I think the whole system is fucked. Because, like, Children's Aid gets paid based on how many people they have in their care, how many people they're the guardians of.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it's like, it's just like, it's fucked up.
Right.
It's fucked up. It's in their best interest to have more kids. Oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, that
so
is,
like, when there's like a monetary benefit, like,
then it doesn't really put the child's best interest in mind first.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Dude, respect to you, man. Like, I used to, and like, my history with my dad is super rocky. Like, very similar in terms of the whole, like, and he's, now that I've grown up, like, there's aspects to it that I'm like, I know at the core of his being, he's a good guy. Mm-hmm. But, like, we are not, like,
Yeah.
It's, the damage is kind of done, whatever. And, when you're growing up as a brown kid, you're always like, man, those white kids are having, like, a cool fucking life, And looking back afar, like, you got ink and stuff, and I would originally, if I didn't know anything about you, like, man, this guy must have had a cool fucking, childhood. Like, he might have had cool parents, he's all inked up, and you know what I mean? But yeah, like, your situation is definitely worse than, because in Brown, like, you were like, I got beaten up a lot, and first I was thinking, well, that's like every brown child's, this like standard package, dude, what are you talking about? But then, like, I hear about it, and I'm like, yeah, that was some rough shit, and for you to, like, actually be where you are right now is, like, fucking hats off, man. So when did stand-up happen for you? When was, how did you...
After my ex, the breakup with my ex, man.
And how many years ago was this, like, exactly, like, 4 years ago, or?
Probably around, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I would say about 5 years ago. And, probably just under 5 years ago.
Okay.
But, yeah. Was living the family life, man. Like, I had dedicated, like, the last, like, 6 years to, like, them.
Okay.
Yeah. And when we were just over, I was like, fuck, like, what am I doing? Lost. I haven't done anything for myself in so long. Like, what do I fucking want?
Okay.
Like, for real. Like, I had to ask myself.
Yeah.
Like, I really, like, I want to pursue, I try to pursue music a little bit, but that shit costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And just didn't see, like, stand-up was, like, something I wanted to do for a long time, and me and my boy were always, trying to push each other to do open mics, and, I don't know. I think something online just caught my eye with Second City, and I was just like, I'm gonna fucking do this. And that was it. Perfect. I paid for the first level, and the rest is history. I did really well, and I feel like most people do well in the Second City when they're like doing the Second City house shows, because it's all their friends. Structure? And everyone's just like, okay, like these are all beginners, be extra nice, and so everything goes over. But then you go to an open mic and you do like mostly the same material, and it's crickets, and you're like, oh fuck. So, like, my first few open mics were fucking bombs, too, bro.
Where was your first open mic, like, outside Second City?
Very first one was Cherry Cola Rock and Roll Cabaret, I think it's called. I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah.
Brandon Zakai was the host.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you guys go really way back.
Yeah, we didn't know each other well back then, but, like... He's definitely like one of my dudes.
Dude, shout out to that guy, man. Like he is. Ever since I've gotten into this, he's taken care of me.
He's solid. He's a solid guy, man. And that's what I'm about.
And very my first impression was Zakai was like the most intimidating motherfucker in the room. Like if you look at him, he's got long beard. You know, he's got like all fucking rings and shit. Yeah. And he used to come in this for a while there. He used to come in this fancy jacket with like roses on it, but you know, that more of a Guns N' Roses vibe kind of.
Gotcha.
I'm like, I'm not fucking talking to this motherfucker. I don't fucking know who this guy is, but I don't want to. And the first set I saw of him was him doing. He said, I'm gonna do relatable material now, and like anybody miss prison, and I'm like, fuck no, not gonna go say hi.
Well, I guess I'm not.
But dude, he is so sweet. He is such a sweet guy, and he's given me and I think a lot of other like our friends and a lot of opportunities. Yeah, and I really respect him as a producer. Like he's the first guy I saw at Pack Bar Cathedral, and he consistently does that. Yeah, you know his marketing game is solid. Like when he talks to people,
he's solid. Yeah,
he's like a 3-second turnaround on Instagram follows. But yeah, no, it's
one of my favorite people for sure, man. So almost what you said, 8 months?
8 months.
Almost 9 months now? Just over 8 months?
Is it November now? Yeah, so... Oh, no, it's December. Yeah, 9 months, yeah.
So 9 months in... Yeah. Any advice you would give to someone who is 9 days in that wants to start doing stand-up or has started?
I think if you really, like... I know I love this thing, and if you really feel that you love it... And I'm almost like copying Ralphie May's video here, because he said if you're a hobbyist, great, or if you're doing it for like public speaking or just for a rush, like an adrenaline rush, just to see if you can do this thing. Yeah. Cool. Then it doesn't really matter in the long run. But if you really fucking love it, then just keep doing it. Like just keep doing it, and everybody has their own path. But for me, I mean, I study it a lot. I research it a lot. Like, that is something I learned from that York U internship, and that's my approach to almost everything. Okay. Just do your research and keep doing it. And I think the biggest thing that helps, and I think millions of people have said this again and again, make friends, man. Like, hang around. Don't just go to...
Being a good person just goes a long way,
100%. 100%.
I don't think people... And that's all... That's like, with Zakai, it's like, I just want to be... surrounded by good people, man. Exactly. That's why you've been on my shows. That's why you're here right now. You're a good fucking dude. That's all I'm about. Like everyone can grow, and not everyone starts at the same place. We can all help each other grow. Like I'm really for. Like I know there's a lot of these Toronto stand-up community fucking pages and all that shit. Yeah. But I feel like fucking 80% of the people in them don't really believe in the community. Like I really do, and I like when I see other people that do, and those are the people I want to surround myself with, And
like there is, I get like there's an aspect of it. It's like, and I always sort of at least for myself, I make an analogy between tennis. They're both like individual sports, but to be successful at any fucking sport, you need a team around you. Mm-hmm. And when you're starting out, they're your friends, they're your fellow comics, and like bringer shows. Yeah. It's just like anything. Like you can be on bringer shows without a bunch of friends who are willing to come there. You can't even be on them if you haven't been good to producers or comics. And I think there's and it sounds like, oh, you got to be good. There's nothing like it's not something you got to work for, you know. Mm-hmm. It's just something you should normally be. Yeah. Right. And like you can learn something from everybody. Really, that's how I feel like.
Yeah, I know. I always think it's funny when you have those people they complain a lot about the world.
Yeah.
And then they'll say that they find it hard to be a good person. And I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe you're part of the problem. Then maybe you should I don't know. Sometimes you got to look inwards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get into top 5.
Let's do top 5.
I think we can start with comedians, man, since we're on that right now.
Okay. So Ricky Gervais.
Nice.
Buddy, that guy's like all-rounder, I feel. Yeah. Such a solid writer. Ricky Gervais. Russell Howard for sure, because, you know, it's kind of how I got into it. These days, Andrew Schultz.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Schultz is... Yeah. His new
He's been killing it for the last couple of years, though, bro. In all honesty, he's doing really good.
No, he is... and I love his approach. Like, I've been listening a lot of his stuff, and he kind of talks about how he's, you know, not being accepted by the community, but he problem solved and figured his own shit out.
Yeah.
To the point where he's, I think, setting the benchmark for everybody else. Like, he just raised the bar, you know what I mean? Like, with the amount of success he's had on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
So Schultz is another one. I think Louis C.K. really, you know, incident aside, as a comic, Louis C.K. his storytelling is incredible. And if I was to think of a fifth one, I don't know, man, like, old Russell Peters, I would say, is
okay.
You know, like the young Russell Peters.
I really like there's the Red, White, and Brown.
Red, White, and Brown.
That was, I think, my favorite one.
Yes. So old Russell Peters was, because that just goes to show you. And I think in this time, if I was to almost like equate someone to Russell Peters, I'd say Joe Coy is very close.
Okay, yeah.
Because both have like, and Joe Coy talks a lot more about his mom and like more of the Filipino culture, but somehow he's figured out to make it universal. You know what I mean? And I think that is that's very impressive. So I like comics who are... and wait, fuck. Can I get a bonus?
Bro, you can... Yeah, go ahead.
Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dude, Burr is like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bill Just Burr. I feel like Bill Burr is always like... Some comedians, to me... Okay, let me... Is that all you want to mention?
That is mine. Yeah, those are my top 6.
Okay, so let me go through mine quick, and then I'll
go ahead,
to that. So, Rogan.
Okay.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
Mark Forward, who's like an Oakville comedian. He's kind of like Toronto dude.
Okay.
Carlin, and then Burr.
Okay.
And with Burr, I feel like with lots of other comedians.
Yeah.
Like their specials and the quality of their specials vary. Like Chappelle, he's got like fucking 8 specials now.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't go like
you
know his worst to his best. Well, with Burr, like it's always on an incline. Like for some reason, I'm like, oh, that one was really good. I don't know if he's gonna be able to top that.
Yeah,
that one was really good.
Never a dull moment.
The last one was like clearly, I think in my mind, like
Red
his
Sox
best.
with the Red Sox.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was really good.
But fucking he's my number 5 too. And if I was doing maybe,
you want to do an honor mention?
I don't know who's most recent. You know who I want to say? I think, as far as stand up, she's probably my favorite comedian. I'm a big Maya Rudolph fan as well.
Okay.
But for females, Adriana Appalucci. Do you know who she is?
No clue.
Okay, so
I don't know. By the way, 4 people on the list that you said, and
really?
Yeah, and like Carlin and Burr. Yeah, but everybody else.
Dave Chappelle.
Well, okay, Chappelle.
Sorry. Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
That's my
I haven't seen Rogan stand up a lot.
Oh, okay, dude.
I always thought Rogan is like this he's like a fucking good kind of know-it-all. Have you ever seen him in a situation where he's at a loss of word? I've never.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
Sometimes, yeah, like the odd time. But he's just, you can tell he just likes talking, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck. Degenerates.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Okay.
Check out Adrienne.
Okay.
She's so funny, man. And she has this, like... She's not like any other female comedian I've ever heard. And I mean that. Where she's like... She talks about, like... I don't know. She's not an anti-feminist, but she makes fun of feminism. And it's weird in this day and age for a woman to, like... do that and actually get herself over a little bit. Like, people still like her.
Yeah.
Just check her out. It's only really 15 minutes, too. All the things on that. I'll send you the link for it. You definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That would be my honorable mention right now.
Okay. I mean, there are good comics. Like, I was going to say, until I saw his last special, I was going to say Sebastian Maniscalco.
I haven't seen the new one.
Okay, in my personal opinion, it was okay. It was more glamorous. But then again, he always looks good. But it was like, I think his intent was to make it more old school entertainment, Las Vegas kind of thing. But from a material and, the flow standpoint, I felt it was like, I didn't want to watch it after like 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eh?
But other than that, like up until that point, I think Maniscalco has been great. Like I wish I could do 4% of that physicality, And again, like I'm an open micer essentially. Like I can't shit on,
that. You're winning competitions and shit. You're getting book shows, bro.
But yeah, no, there's some. Do you feel the competition's increased in stand-up now than it was maybe say back in like a Chappelle time or like a Carlin time? Because I don't know.
It's hard because, like, I wasn't as deep into the world as I am now, so it could have just been, like, ignorance at the end of the day. I was just unaware, but...
How do you feel about the whole moving out of Canada, going to the States thing? Like, what's your take on that? If you want to make it, do you have to, like, go... Does it have to be just NYC?
Oh, if you want to make it, I don't necessarily think that. It's also... Here's the thing, man. What do you want to do? What are you trying to accomplish out of, like,
Yeah.
It's kind of what you were saying, Ralphie May was saying, it's a thing. It's about what you want, right?
Yeah,
Like, my goal when I got into this was to leave my 9 to 5.
Okay, yeah.
Was to, like, just make a living doing comedy. And I'm not saying I don't want success, and I'm not striving for success and trying to get better, and I don't want... a special and things like that. I want all of that stuff. I want to do world tours, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But I will be happy if I can just make a living.
Right. Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know lots of comedians that are just like, they write shows for fucking CBC or they just do stuff in Canada and they're mad successful.
Right.
And they're they're mad happy. Okay. I don't think it's about what you want, right? Like. Yeah. I will be happy if I could just go around Canada, really, I would.
Yeah.
North to east to fucking west, whatever, bro, everywhere.
Yeah.
But, eventually,
Right.
I don't think you have to leave to make it.
Yeah.
But, I do want to leave.
Yeah. That makes sense. Go
around the world.
Yeah, because if you're already pushing it, I think goals all, like, kind of evolve, right? Like, because when I started, I felt like it was, if I just get a laugh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if I just do well for the next 3 minutes on an open mic, that's great. And then if I get a newcomer show, that's great. So I think your goals also change. With
once you achieve
of the game.
Things that, you got... I mean, if you're not trying to set the bar a little higher after you achieve your goals...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Some people don't, I guess, though. Some people don't wake up and have, like, something like that, I find it, people.
Yeah.
Find it.
That's sure. No, because... I mean, I used to, before I found stand-up, I thought with my 9 to 5, I wanted to, like, just fucking crush it, because that's all I knew.
What do you do, 9 to 5?
I do project management. I'm a project coordinator with a construction firm.
Okay.
And for the record, fucking hate construction.
Mm.
Never wanted to do it, but again, that's a brown kid story. Every kid's an engineer.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta fucking go through something. My dad was like, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer in Florida. And play tennis at the Bolletary Academy. That was my dream back as a high school kid.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly did not work out. And my dad was like, no, you got to do civil because, there's jobs and whatnot. And I went through 4 years of school for it, and I fucking hated every minute of it. And tennis kept me going at the time, and I was like, what do I do now? Like, I fucking... make I did 4 years of this thing. I gotta somehow make the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
So then once that first internship here happened, I figured it would be a good way to actually come here. I actually came here for my ex. Yeah,
okay.
that was a lover boy, and that was kind of the thing. And then I basically, but then I found a nice balance in postgrad and kind of did all of that and did construction just for the whole to make a living out of whatever I have a background in. And then I got into marketing and
gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. But like it would be nice. I'm lucky though. Like now, and I shouldn't complain because even my 9 to 5 is not bad. It pays the bills and lets me do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think you gotta find that balance of like gratitude and trying to, find that balance of being happy with what you have and then aiming for what you want. Otherwise, you'll just drive yourself nuts. Because, like, if you constantly... Because I used to do a lot of that. I used to constantly complain. I'm like, I fucking hate it. And I have days like that still where I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, fuck me.
It's easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. And then... But, yeah, I think that's what my take is. I don't know where I went with that story.
Oh, no, it's all good,
I do construction.
It's all good. Yeah, you're talking about 9 to 5. That was good. I briefly did construction over the pandemic, but... Not really my thing either, dude.
It's weird. I say people I do construction and they're like, oh, you must work hard, you're in the trades. I'm like, no, I do project management. And I see the respect from their eyes go in like 2 seconds. You know, they're like, this phony motherfucker who sits in an office all day long. So yeah, it's a weird thing. But yeah.
Alright, dude, what about, let's see, what do we want to... Let's do Adele songs. Let's get those out the way.
Adele songs, okay. So I think I told you this. Like, a lot of the UK artists are, like, I favor them more. And I do this bit about having British schooling growing up. Mm-hmm. So I think it's all sort of coming from there, I guess. But Adele is... So I listen to Adele to fall asleep, by the way.
Oh, all right.
You know, Easy is currently on the playlist.
Okay.
And it starts off there, and yeah. But dude, I just think like she is, she's got like this powerful fucking voice. Like, so Easy's a current one. Mm-hmm. Of course, you have Rolling in the Deep, which is like a classic. Everybody loves it. Water Under the Bridge is a very breakup based song. So I heard that a lot back when I was going through shit. But I think those are my top 3. I don't know if I have a top 5 for Adele. Because, like, I've also been doing, I've also liked Ed Sheeran for the longest time, like, now.
Do you like Robin?
Robin?
You know Robin?
No, who's Robin?
Oh, my God. I'm pretty sure she's a, like, UK, like, pop.
Oh, yeah?
Like, the LGBTQ community fucking loves Robin, bro. And I love Robin, too. I ain't none of that shit, but, like, I love Robin.
I gotta check her out, okay.
Yeah.
The new one that I like from UK is Macy Peters, and she was actually recently here. I think she did Meridian Hall. Mm-hmm. And she, the first time we heard her songs were on this show called Trying. It's on Apple TV. Mm-hmm. And it's about this couple who's like struggling to have a kid, can't have a kid, they adopted. And she had some beautiful songs there. And she was here, and so I think that's my top artists / songs for now.
All right.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to comp like the.
What is your thing? Like, I feel you have. I don't know. Do you have like a? Because if somebody doesn't know you, I think they think, oh, this guy's like a punk fucking metal guy.
Yeah, and I do like that.
Yeah,
I do like that. But okay, I like a lot of reggae.
Okay.
I like hip hop.
Did Winston get you into reggae growing up? Like.
I liked it from there a little bit before then. Like, I listened to Bob Marley. Like, I knew like the generic stuff, but like he definitely added like more artists to the reggae that I listened to. But yeah, man, I'm all over the place. I really even pop sometimes, as long as it's. I don't like music that's made for money. And you can fucking tell, like, and to each their own. Like, if that's what you're into, and you like going to clubs and hearing fucking someone repeat the same words fucking 20 times in a song, that's cool, man. Like, you know, it's art. At the end of the day, whatever you like. That's cool. Yeah. But like, it's not my thing. I'm gonna get back on Adele songs though. Let's do it. Let me go through that. Okay. Set Fire to the Rain. Okay. Number 1. Okay. Rolling in the Deep, number 2. There's a cover that Linkin Park did before Chester died of that song that I really like.
Oh, okay. I don't know that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think they only ever like did it live. I don't think there's like a studio version of it. But
gotcha.
Hello? It's my number 3.
Yes. Someone
Like You. It's my number 4. Okay. And then, this is a toss-up, but I just stuck it in there because I couldn't really come up with a 5th one. When We Were Young. That one's aight.
Okay, yeah.
That one's aight.
Yeah. Yeah, so some really well-known stuff in there, yeah.
Mostly, like, her hits.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And they're all good songs. It's not like...
Yeah, she can write and she can sing, It's just... Some songs aren't my thing, I wouldn't discredit her ability, her musical ability, At all. I think, like, how could you?
No, for sure. Like, she has good fucking voice, man. That's like, yeah.
So you say you do tennis. We were going to do tennis. You wanted to do tennis players, but I know, like...
Who do you know? Okay, let's talk about what you know about tennis.
I know the Williams sisters.
Amazing, yeah.
I know Pete Sampras.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like I know a few more. Like, I was really into, like, tennis video games. Like, I pretty much play, like...
Which has been your best video game? I think Virtua Tennis 3 is...
Yo, bro! That's for sure. That was, like, I would say
Virtua Tennis 3
that was, like, the last generation. Like, I had it for 360, I think. Yeah. The third one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a very good breakthrough game.
Yeah.
And you have, like, a mix of generation players in there. You have your... early Federer, early Nadal.
Yeah.
But then you also have the old Tommy Haws. You have, like, Sampras is there. I don't know if Sampras is in there. I think Agassi is Sampras is probably.
Yeah, Andre Agassi, I know him as well. Are all your 5 athletes tennis players?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have, like... See, the thing is, I can't even, like, say... Because if I say there's another athlete that I really like, Kobe Bryant. Okay. I know nothing about basketball, but I only know stuff from his, like, motivational stuff, and there's a sincerity to him that, that I don't think a lot of other players have been able to, like, express, and there's, like, a genuine work for your shit kind of thing that I really respect. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, for the most part, it's tennis, because, dude, I used to suck at every single sport except tennis, and I'm a terrible doubles player. Until, say, university, when I found, like, a good doubles partner. And then that was a good stint. But other than that, I
can serve. I'm pretty good at
serving. Dude, that's 50% of the game.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that's the shot you control, right? You're starting off, and you have full control of the ball. And honestly, once my serve got better, which was in university, is when I started winning more, because... if your serve is good, then you already start the point with a dominant factor. You know what I mean? Like, you're already on the offense. For me, top 5. Number 1, Rafael Nadal.
Okay.
I met him, I'm a huge fan, man. Like, I've learned watching, I've learned to play tennis by watching him. And I met him in 2018. Saw the Rogers Cup final with his team in his box.
How'd you meet him? How'd you, like, swing that shit?
Okay, so...
Yeah, let's hear that.
Yeah, so, like, when I was around, I want to say 11 or 13, this was growing up in Qatar. Qatar hosts the first tennis tournament of the calendar every year.
Okay.
It's the Qatar Open, and I was on the national team there at the time. I was also, like, ball boying and stuff. And tennis was a growing sport, so it was easy access to, like, get front row seats, and, you could watch players from really up close. And back then, there was a specific year when his partner, Mark Lopez, and him, they won a doubles match. I think Nadal threw his towel in the crowd, and my mom caught it. And then when they were walking out, like, Mark Lopez walks out, nobody. Not a single guy gives a shit. Mm-hmm. Which is sad, because he's a good fucking player. And Nadal walks out, there's, like, a hurdle of fucking security guards around him. Didn't get a picture with him, but at the time got it with Lopez, right? And then I meet him in 2018. I got like a VIP ticket for the semis. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even planning on going for the finals because it's like fucking $500, man. Yeah. Like, I saved up for it. I was just a student. But I went watched the semis and met Lopez and Nadal. Like, I saw Nadal, but I met Lopez there, and I got a picture with him. And I showed him that picture from fucking 11 years ago or what. And anyway, he's like, well, are you coming to the finals tomorrow? We got like a 2-second shot. I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in the finals. So the player box is... And Rogers Cup is also not like a big tournament. It's on the point side, it's big. But
where was it?
It's at the Aviva Center in North York, right? Okay. So it's not a big tournament when it comes to like... It's like a practice for the US Open kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But like... stadium-wise, it's not very restrictive. So I was supposed to be in like Section C or something, Because once Nadal won the semis, I bought a ticket and it was supposed to be in Section C. Players box was just a couple rows below. So then again, like I just went and said hi. Like I said, I'm annoyingly persistent,
hey.
you know. And I went and said hi, and dude, this guy's team, like, we're talking world number 1 at the time.
Yeah.
Super humble. The whole lot of them, like not just Nadal, like super humble. And they were like, "Hey, you want to just sit with us?" And there was like another kid as well, like, you know, maybe like a 9-10-year-old kid. He's still my friend. He doesn't play tennis anymore, but he's still my friend. And he was there, and I was there, and then the whole team. And then after that, Nadal was supposed to go to Cincinnati, but he canceled. And then while we were leaving the stadium, his car was passing from there, and there was a red light, and he lowered the windows, and I got a picture with him, and shook his hand, spoke for like 2 minutes, and that was it.
Sweet, man.
It was a dream come true. That was, and you know what's funny? There's also the time where I had my craze for like Ed Sheeran stuff, and so it was the same time when Ed Sheeran was in town doing Scotiabank. It was the Rogers Cup, so I had to pick where am I gonna go.
Worth it though, I guess, eh?
100%. Like that will be forever my tennis highlight. So Nadal's number 1, definitely. Right. Lot of love for Nadal. Roger Federer, number 2, just retired. Dude, that guy is like...
I know him as well.
Yeah. And if anyone says they don't like Roger, they definitely don't know anything about tennis for sure. That's a Nadal quote. But it's true because, dude, such a graceful player. Such a graceful player. Number 3 is Gael Monfils, and he is a French player. The best entertainer you'll ever see. Just watch him. Take a couple of YouTube clips, watch him. And he's a very, very entertaining player. Like, he packs he plays for the crowd.
Right, eh?
You know, I don't think he cares about winning and stuff. 4, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's kind of a brat, but I think he's really fucking talented. Is Nick Kyrgios.
No.
Yeah, he's like the bad boy of tennis right now. And I used to hate the guy.
Yeah.
But I think at the core, again, very good person, probably. Just has... like a millennial, you know, too much antics.
Gotcha.
And kind of like a bad attitude in general.
Okay.
But if he fixes that...
He's a younger dude?
Very young. Yeah, a younger dude. And super talented, man. Super tall, super powerful. And then again, 5th was Kobe Bryant. And I really can't think of a 5th player in tennis fan. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I'll go through mine. So I got... I know you said you're not huge onto wrestling, but Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Stone Cold?
Do you know him?
Okay, I know Stone Cold.
Okay, so my first 4 are retired.
Okay.
So Stone Cold is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
I'm going George St. Pierre.
Wrestler too?
He's MMA fighter. He used to fight for the UFC. He's from Montreal. He retired for like quite a few years, and then he came back. He won the title in the weight class with his one fight back, and then he retired again. He's just a G. He's literally, like, I would say, like, pound for pound, like, probably the best fighter that has ever, like, been in the UFC. Or, like, even MMA in general. And then I'm going Tony Hawk.
A skateboarder. Dude, I love the game.
Because I was like, oh, like, really? Because I'm not I'm into combat sports and stuff like that now, but I didn't want to... I mean, I could have done 5 wrestlers. But, like, I used to be into other things, and I was trying to think of, like... athletes that like played a role in my life up until this point, not just athletes that I'm into right now.
Right.
So I had to give Tony Hawk that. He's probably the reason I got into skateboarding, which is I fractured my back skateboarding and stuff like that. But like was really into it. Painful. The reason I started skipping school was because Tony Hawk, the first video game, came out.
Did you play that?
Just insanely
the PS2
fun.
Game, I think, right?
I love
that game. That was
just
a game
so
I got
fun,
free.
Dude. Those first 3 were just amazing games.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I'm going Tracy McGrady.
Who's Tracy McGrady?
He's my favorite basketball player of all time. He used to play for Toronto when in the era like Vince Carter was around. He's actually, I think, Vince Carter's cousin. Pretty sure. And then we traded him and we kept Vince, and then Vince got his knee injury, and then shortly after that I lost interest in basketball. Okay. But so all those 4 retired now. Yeah. I don't even know if Tony Hawk's going to be. He injured his knee, so I don't know if he'll be ever skateboarding again.
Dude, he's making such a big deal with Activision, like, for his games.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching like this random podcast, I think, and he has like I think it's $6 million or something. I don't know, but it's like a crazy fucking number. Yeah,
he's good. And then right now, I would say my favorite wrestler is a guy named Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Okay.
And he is not necessarily like I would put if I was going wrestlers.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be maybe in my top 5.
Yeah.
But he's right now my favorite, and I think he's super young as well.
Okay.
And I think eventually over time he could become like my number 1.
We didn't talk about you refereeing wrestling matches, dude. And it just hit me right now because I almost thought that was your day job.
No, I wish, man. I started that this year actually.
Okay.
And like I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Like
how's the
so
scene?
far.
How do you get into that stuff?
It's fun, man. Right close. There's a like gym Battle Arts Academy, and that's where I kind of like started. I know a lot of people that go there.
Okay.
And yeah, like with my back injury, can't really do the wrestling thing.
Oh, that's recent, eh?
So no, that my back injury happened when I was 16, but like it's fucked. Like so when it happened, like my vertebrae got pushed in.
Okay.
And that vertebrae initially had like a crack in it.
Oh, fuck.
You know? And as that healed, like my spine's still fucked. Like there's no crack anymore, but like if you were to go down like my spine, like rub your finger, you wouldn't feel one of them. It'd feel like there was a gap because it's so far in.
Dude, that is scary.
So like I can't really wrestle. Like, there's a lot of work and a lot of training and a lot of bumps you have to take, and it just, like, it would fucking destroy me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have problems getting out of bed some mornings, you know? I just wouldn't be able to. But the refereeing was something, like, I just wanted to be in the world because I love wrestling so much.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And there was a seminar, and my buddy fucking was like, hey. And so I went to the seminar, very respected referees that were doing it. And, just got the ball rolling there. Was training with a lot of the wrestlers for the first, 3-4 months. Like, I was going in a couple times a week just to, ref.
Yeah.
You know, and train with those guys. And then the coach there, actually, he's not the coach there anymore. Which is part of the reason that I don't go there.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've stopped going there now. It's because, that coach is, he's, I know he's not a ref, but I still call him coach. He's the guy who taught me a lot about just, the world. He's the guy who got me my first paid gig, you know? And so, it's, again, it's just about making connections, being nice with people, and being like, oh, you're a ref? Like, blah, blah, blah. 100%. And so, I've refed for wrestling promotions, in Oshawa, and all kind of around the GTA, and I don't know, man. I've got probably maybe 60, 70 matches under my belt now.
Sick.
And it's fucking a lot of fun, man. It's just as a fan, it's the best seat in the house. Dramedies.
You
want to go through that?
Let's go through Dramedies. You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go first. Yeah.
All right. So, Afterlife. You were talking about Ricky Gervais.
Me too.
Number 1 Afterlife.
All time.
I think it's fucking amazing.
100%.
It hits all the high notes of comedy and all the high notes. I've cried and laughed within 2 minutes of watching the same episode.
Yes.
You know, it's so well done, so well written.
100%.
And
I'm so glad that's on your list. Incredible. Yeah, for sure.
And he really gets his cynical humor across.
Yeah.
In it. And then I'm going Freaks and Geeks.
Okay.
It's really old. You might not know it, but this show is where Linda Cardellini, Jason Segel, Seth Rogen, James Franco, I don't know. There's a bunch of people that got their start on this show. Okay. And there's only one season. Judd Apatow made it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've been waiting to read his book, man. Yeah. No. Okay.
So that's my number 2. Then I'm going Dead to Me. Which is with Christina Applegate. It just ended. Okay. The 3rd season just finished. The series is done now. It's with Christina Applegate, Linda Cardellini, who's also in Freaks and Geeks. Okay. Great show.
Right.
And then Weeds.
Okay.
and Orange is the New Black. Here's the thing. When I was going through shows, I was literally having trouble with this one and kind of talking with my lady about it.
Yeah.
And we were like Googling what exactly a dramedy is, because like some of them were like, oh, but that's more of a sitcom.
You're anal.
And so it was weird. So
okay, then I'm fucked. Okay, then I'm fucked because I don't think I Googled a dramedy.
Did I say Orange is the New Black?
You said Orange is the New Black. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my 5.
Okay, cool. So definitely same number 1, Afterlife.
Hell yeah.
100%. Number 2. Now, is Brooklyn Nine-Nine a sitcom or a dramedy?
I haven't watched enough of it to know, but if I was saying, I'd probably say it was a sitcom. You can put whatever on your list, man. It doesn't have to be like crazy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry
about it. So, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I enjoy that show. I think it's amazing. Number 3 would be the show I was telling you about, Trying.
Okay.
And then number 4, okay, these days, guilty pleasure, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I tried watching it before I started stand-up, and I liked it. I got through like 2 episodes, but I never got through it. But these days I've been watching it a lot. Like, sometimes I'll be doing the dishes in the kitchen and just be on.
Okay.
Have you watched Severance? Severance is an Apple TV show. It's not a comedy at all. And it's drama, but it's almost dystopian. And that is one...
Severance?
Yeah. So...